Great.
That's safe.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got a compartment to ourselves.
Yeah, not for long, though. There are still people looking for places.
Oh, we've got the choice of the best seats.
Yeah. Of course, you know the best way to keep a compartment to yourself?
No? How?
Well, every time someone's about to come in, just go like this.
Yeah, you'll probably get them accepting, and then you get into real trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you know the other way? No? Just cough your guts out. They soon move on. Yeah. Only started as a joke, then a real cough took over. Oh, I feel shattered.
I should see a doctor if I were you.
Uh-huh.
Did you phone Dick?
Yes, I phoned him at his place and apparently went off to Reading for the night. With Nurse Willett. Oh. So I suppose he'll come on from there.
I shouldn't mention Nurse Willett to my mother if I were you. I don't think she'd understand.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you know it's a good idea, this? Having a few days' break from London before starting back at St. Swithin's.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get back to the hospital and do some real medicine.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, what did I talk to your father about?
Oh, anything, as long as it's not medicine.
Well, come off it. He's a doctor, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's got his very own fixed ideas. He usually assumes that I agree with him.
I see. So it's easier not to discuss them.
Yeah, I just agree with everything he says.
Yeah. How about your mother?
She'll be all right, as long as you talk to her about a favourite subject.
Which is?
Me. No, thanks.
No, I mean, it's probably cigarettes that brought on the bout of coughing.
Oh, yes, probably.
I've given it up.
Hmm?
Yes, my doctor made me give it up.
Oh.
I'd cut it out completely, except at weekends.
Good.
I always smoke at weekends. It doesn't really count, does it?
Well, not really.
Mind you, I do like a smoke with my coffee.
Yeah?
And with my tea. Well, they just wouldn't taste the same without, would they?
No.
Do you smoke?
No.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that is very good. Otherwise, I might have asked you for one.
But I thought you'd stopped.
Oh, yes, I have. Completely. Only a smoke does help me relax on a journey.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's very good for me to do that. And if you haven't got any, I won't be tempted, will I?
No.
Oh, that's better. Hey, Mike, there's a bar somewhere on the train. Do you fancy a drink?
Oh, no, thanks.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Would you get me 20 of anything, too? There's a mite.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, let me get that.
Thank you.
Oh, it's all right. I'm a doctor.
Oh.
I mean, don't worry. I am a doctor.
I don't care if you're the Pope. I don't like people staring at my legs.
Oh, sorry. I was just interested.
It looked like it.
Oh, it wasn't your legs I was staring at. It was your varicose veins. My interest was purely from a medical point of view.
Did you say that, you were a doctor?
Yes.
What about my veins?
Well, speaking as a medical man, I was a little distressed to see a woman of your age and, of your age with such ugly...
Oh, are they as noticeable as all that?
Oh, no. No, only to a doctor.
Oh.
Is your own doctor treating you for it?
Oh, yes. Well, yes, in a way. He just tells me never stand when you can sit and to keep them raised slightly whenever possible.
Is that all?
Yes.
Didn't he tell you about the operation?
You mean having them taken out?
Yeah.
He said it was dangerous.
Did he really? It does sound an old twit. But hundreds of people have the operation every week. I mean, it might be dangerous if you were old, but a woman of... Well, how old are you?
38?
That's a Well, I should have them out.
Oh, do you really think so?
Oh, certainly. Are they painful at all?
No.
Really? Oh, you don't mind my looking?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, they don't look too bad to me.
Oh, would you like to see them properly?
Eh?
I'll whip my tights off.
Oh, no, no.
Here in the door.
Oh,
Won't be a minute.
right.
Hey, Mike. You know, I just walked the whole length of the train that way. I've just discovered the bar's one compartment this way. Are you sure you don't want anything?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you. Be good.
Thanks, Paul.
There we are. That didn't take long, did it?
No.
Well, now.
Well, let's look then, shall we? Right,
Hands are a little bit cold.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's very good of you, Doctor, to take so much trouble.
Oh, not at all. Now, if you just sit back here and raise this leg up.
Oh,
That's it. All right? Could you get it a little higher? Well, I'm doing this so that the blood will flow out of these superficial veins and then I can see exactly where the trouble is. Perhaps if I just assist it by massaging it. Hello, Mum.
Michael, oh, my darling boy.
Fantastic. This is Paul Collier.
Oh,
Hello,
how
Mrs. Upton.
lovely
Nice to meet
see
you, Alonso. These flowers are for you.
Oh, thank you. How sweet.
Oh, and these.
Oh, Michael, how wonderful. Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, they're lovely. Simply lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, now let me look at you.
Mum.
Oh, I thought there was another one coming.
Yes, Dick. He's coming on from Reading. He spent the night at his...
At his aunt's.
at his aunt's.
Oh, now pour some sherry, Michael. Come and sit down.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Upton.
Yeah, that's it. Now, tell me how you've been getting along.
Oh, fine, fine.
Did you get my last letter?
I don't remember.
Well, I enclosed a cutting from the Herald with a picture of Pat Swan's wedding in it.
Oh, yes, I got that one.
Thank you. Who's Pat Swan?
Oh, she's a girl from down the road. Michael used to have a crush on her. Do you remember, Michael, when our mother came round to complain because you've been playing doctors with her up the canal?
Mum, I was only 4 or something.
Well, anyway, she's married. I don't think you know the boy. You know, I send him lots of cuttings from the local paper, and he never says that he gets any of them. Do you write home?
Oh, yes. Every week.
Oh, that is nice. Did you hear that, Michael?
Yes, I heard it. Where's Dad?
Oh, well, he's in the surgery. He won't be a moment. Well, I better go and get lunch ready.
What's this I write home every week, then? You phone home twice a year and that's it.
What about you? Playing doctors at the age of 4. No wonder you're so far ahead in your exams.
Oh, hello, Dad.
Ah, there you are, Michael.
This is Paul Collier. He's a doctor as well.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? Mr. Patrick didn't tell me about this. Old Mr. Scowthorne and his hernia trouble again. I'll have to fix him up with a truss. It's the only thing I can do. Don't you agree, Michael?
Well, you could... Oh, yes, I agree. Fit a truss on him.
Yes, I agree too, sir.
I'm so glad you
here.
arrived in time for lunch. Yes,
Dick.
Oh, yes, Dick.
Oh, Dad, hello, Dick. Dad, this is Dick Stewart Clark.
Oh,
Awfully nice to meet you at last, sir.
yes. Would you care for a glass of sherry?
Oh, yes, please. Some flowers for you, Mrs. Upton.
Oh, they're lovely.
Just a small bunch.
Oh, thank you. Oh, how's your aunt?
My aunt?
Your Aunt Willett, whom you stayed with last night in Reading.
Oh, yes, she's fine.
Do you visit her often?
As often as I can, yes.
How sweet.
Oh, sweet.
Are you returning to St. Swithin's with these two?
No, actually, I start work with a pharmaceutical company as their northern sales director.
Oh, sounds nice. Oh, surely, John, you're going to change for lunch.
Surgery bell.
Oh.
I'll answer it.
Yes, and I'd better go and fix up some lunch.
Oh, perhaps I could help.
Oh, that's awfully kind of you. Perhaps you could put some of these lovely flowers into vases for me.
Oh, I'd love to. I learnt the basic rules of flower arranging when I was in Japan, you know. I had a summer job there once.
Really?
Oh. It's based on the aesthetics of bonsai.
You and I will have to do the washing up later.
Oh, I'd love to. I learned the basic art of washing up while I was in Brighton. I had a summer job there once.
Well, Michael, I've got a patient in the surgery, a bit worried about something. I wonder if you'd come in, you know. Another doctor saying the same thing often helps.
Sure, I'd love to.
Good.
See you, Paul.
Yeah, fine.
Now, Mrs. Bendick, here's another Dr. Upton. Michael, you haven't met Mrs. Bendick, I think.
No, how do you...
Isn't it funny that he should turn out to be your son, and such a good doctor, too?
Mrs. Bendick, I wonder if you wouldn't mind stepping into the waiting room for a moment. I'd like to have a word or two with my son.
Yes, of course, of course, of course.
Now then, Michael, just what do you mean by advising my patient?
Well, I didn't know she was your patient, Dad.
It doesn't matter whose patient she was. She wasn't yours.
Look, I didn't really advise her. I just happened to notice her legs, and we got talking about them. She took her tights off. I had a closer look. Well, then I gave her my honest medical opinion.
I suppose you make a habit of wandering around British Rail holding impromptu surgeries.
No, I've never done it before. I just thought she ought to be aware of the possibilities of surgical treatment.
And as the roving railway doctor, where were you going to suggest she might have her operation? The engine shed a crew?
Now, look.
Where were you trained, at St. Swithin's or St. Pancras?
Oh, come on.
Now, come on, Mike. Just get this into your head. Mrs. Bendick is my patient, and I prescribe her treatments.
Of course, I usually recommend injections for varicose veins.
Oh, really? I've never heard of that. And does it work?
Oh, yes. I can remember when I was at St. Swithin's once, I got this bloke whose legs looked like a relief map of the Himalayas. I put him on a course of these injections, and within no time at all, he was hopping around like a 2-year-old.
Oh, that sounds marvellous. And how does it work?
Well, a sclerosing solution is injected directly into the vein. It's a sort of a glucose solution, and that causes a thrombose, or blood clot. And the blood, instead of going into the clotted veins, goes into the healthy ones. It's as simple as that.
Oh, it sounds all right.
Mrs. Bendick, would you come in again, please?
Why, yes, of course, of course.
Ah, come in, Mrs. Bendick. Do sit down. I've just been explaining to Michael that during his encounter with you on the train, he was very wrong to offer you advice of a medical nature. After all, your legs have been in my hands now for many years. Well, I think I know what's best for them. Mike, I think you've got something to say to Mrs. Bendick.
Well, yes. Mrs. Bendick, I should like to apologise for referring to your doctor, that is, my father, as an old twit.
That's quite all right.
And? And for wrongful advice?
Now, just a minute. Maybe I shouldn't have examined her, but I did, and I gave her the right advice.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Thank you, Mrs. Bendick.
All I said was she could and should have an operation.
Oh, no, I shouldn't.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bendick. This is a matter of medical opinion. It's not for the patient to say.
We have been through this. It is not for you to say either. Now, Mrs. Bendick, we will continue with your treatment. Rest your legs as much as you can, not too much standing, and we'll hear no more about operations, eh?
No, Doctor.
Good.
I'd like the injections.
What? What injections?
Well, the ones where you put glucose in the veins and it all clogs up.
Clots up. How much more have you been telling her?
I didn't.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't tell me. It was the other doctor.
What other doctor?
The one in your waiting room.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Doctor, would you mind coming in here for a moment, please?
Hello. Just sorting out a couple of magazines to read.
Have you been telling Mrs. Bendick about injections?
Sorry?
Oh, no, that's not the one.
Oh, good heavens, it's... Oh, dear.
Me. That's not the one.
No, you see, that's the other one on the train. The one that got my cigarettes. You were doctor, too.
Cigarette? You told me you'd stopped.
Oh, yes, I have. Completely.
I suppose you told her they were good for her. So, you set up a partnership on the 10-10 now, have you? And where did you train? Euston?
Oh, Dr. Upton, Mrs. Upton wonders if you'd care to eat.
That's the one. That's the one that told me about the injections.
Aha! Come in, Doctor, come in. Join the medical convention. I understand that you took it upon yourself to advise my patient here about injection treatments for veins.
Yes, well, I only mentioned that she might... I'm sorry.
Oh, don't feel bad about it. It seems to be the current rage around here at the moment.
You see, she was telling me how much she wanted the operation, so I said, why not ask for the injections instead?
Why?
Why? Well, why not? I mean, if she has the veins removed, there's always a possibility of recurrence in some of the superficial veins. That's why.
But injections are only a temporary solution.
Well, that's a matter of professional opinion, surely.
And what does our learned friend here feel about it?
I agree with you.
Why?
Why not?
Dr. Upton.
Yes?
Might be quiet, will you? You know, you three really amaze me. Just as a matter of interest, and perhaps one of you might astound me by coming up with the right answer. What is the second thing you do when a patient walks into your surgery?
The second thing.
The second thing, yes.
Well, what's the first thing?
Ask him his name, of course.
Yes.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, well, what is the second thing you do?
Ask him his age?
Oh.
Ask them what's wrong with them.
Oh.
No, ask them to sit down.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, all right, we give up. What is it?
You read her bloody notes.
Of course you read her
We
notes.
knew that.
Oh, you knew it, did you? Did you read Mrs. Bentinck's notes?
Well, how could I? I was on a train.
Exactly, you couldn't read them, yet you took it upon yourself to advise her. Now, these are Mrs. Bentinck's notes. Read them very carefully, and you will find that she has a long history of respiratory trouble from an asthmatic condition she had as a child. And an operation of the kind that you suggest might prove fatal on account of the post-operative effects of anaesthetic.
Yes, of course.
So, Mrs. Bentinck, we will...
What about the injection, sir?
Pardon?
Well, we know she can't have the operation, but why can't she have the injections?
Well, she...
No anaesthetic needed. She doesn't even have to be admitted into hospital.
Oh, that sounds all right.
Oh, yeah, it sounds all right, but the...
But you know of a reason why she shouldn't have them.
Well, yes, of course I do. It's, because the,
Because she's on the pill.
Eh? But she's not.
She is.
I am.
Are you?
Yes, Dr. Hatfield put me on it when you were on holiday.
But I didn't know that.
Didn't you read his notes?
Well, no. But he couldn't have read mine otherwise he'd never have put her on the pill.
But what does being on the pill have to do
Of
with these
course.
injections?
Thromboembolism.
What?
There's thromboembolism.
Exactly. He's got
tied
it,
up
you
with
see.
sclerosing substances, you see. Yes. You are.
4 doctors all talking about me. Oh, this is a very special occasion. I think it calls for a cigarette.
Ah. There you are, Michael. Others gone for a walk?
Yeah.
I, just had a phone call from Mrs. Bentinck.
Oh?
Oh, she's all right. She told me she was going up to London to get a 5th opinion.
Look, Dad, really, I'm very sorry about that whole...
Can't be helped. Jolly glad you got me out of that pill business, anyway. You, seem to know your medicine all right, Mike? Sorry I put you on the carpet like that.
No, it was my fault. I mean, I should never have spoken to her on the train.
No, quite understandable. Just qualified, head full of medicine. Funny to think of you being a doctor, Mike. Ah, there they are. Oh, I think I'll go and do some work. Well, perhaps you'll be a surgeon one day, Mike. A famous surgeon. The whole world's going to hear about you.
I've been telling the boys all about you.
Yes, all about you.
What you did with the rice pudding when you were 5?
What you did in your grandfather's shoes when you were 7.
I didn't tell you all that.
Oh, we we know enough about you to write a book, and we've only covered you up to the age of 11.
Yes, which is when the incident in the girls' lavatories occurred.
No, Dick, you're confusing that with what he did from the top diving board when he was 7.
Now, I was going to show you boys some photographs.
Oh, yes!
Oh, no, Mum, not that one.
Oh, here's one of Michael going to a fancy dress ball as a fairy.
Don't bother, Mum. We've got to go. We've got to catch a train.
No, it's in here somewhere. Here. Now, isn't he sweet?
Isn't he sweet? Oh, hey. Now I know how prisoners of war felt after escaping.
What?
Oh, no offence, Mike. Lovely weekend.
Lovely.
Well, that photograph always comes out. I mean, no matter who visits us, uncles, aunts, the lady up the road.
Sorry about the incident with Mrs. Benting, Mike.
No, that's all right. I mean, it was my fault. I started it.
Oh, no, Mike. I mean, I offered to get the cigarettes.
Yeah, well, anyway, I mean... You all right?
Oh, yes, I've had trouble with my chest for years.
Oh, have you? Look, I'm a doctor.
Oh, no, you I'll spend all the way tonight.
I told you, all you have to do is cough your guts up and you soon move on.
Great.
That's safe. Yeah. Well, at least we got a compartment to ourselves.
Yeah, not for long, though. There are still people looking for places.
Oh, we got the choice of the best seats.
Yeah. Of course, you know the best way to keep a compartment to yourself?
No? How?
Well, every time someone's about to come in, just go like this.
Yeah, you'll probably get them accepting, and then you get into real trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you know the other way. No? Just cough your guts out. They soon move on. Only started as a joke, then a real cough took over. Oh, I feel shattered.
I should see a doctor if I were you.
Uh-huh.
Did you phone Dick?
Yes, I phoned him at his place and apparently went off to Reading for the night. With Nurse Willett. So I suppose he'll come on from there.
I shouldn't mention Nurse Willett to my mother if I were you. I don't think she'd understand.
Yes, okay. Do you know, it's a good idea, this. Having a few days' break from London before starting back at St. Swithin's.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get back to the hospital and do some real medicine.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, what did I talk to your father about?
Oh, anything, as long as it's not medicine.
Well, come off it. He's a doctor, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's got his very own fixed ideas. He usually assumes that I agree with him.
I see. So it's easier not to discuss them.
Yeah, I just agree with everything he says.
Yeah. How about your mother?
She'll be all right, as long as you talk to her about a favourite subject.
Which is?
Me.
Cigarettes.
No, thanks.
No, I mean, it's probably cigarettes that brought on the bout of coughing.
Oh, yes, probably.
I've given it up.
Hmm?
Yes, my doctor made me give it up.
Oh,
I cut it out completely, except at weekends.
good.
I always smoke at weekends. It doesn't really count, does it?
Well, not really.
Mind you, I do like a smoke with my coffee.
Yeah?
And with my tea. Well, they just wouldn't taste the same without, would they?
No.
Do you smoke?
No.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that is very good. Otherwise, I might have asked you for one.
But I thought you'd stopped.
Oh, yes, I have. Completely. Only a smoke does help me relax on a journey.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's very good for me to do without. And if you haven't got any, I won't be tempted, will I?
No.
Oh, that's better. Hey, Mike, there's a bar somewhere on the train. Do you fancy a drink?
Oh, no, thanks.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Would you get me 20 of anything tip? There's a money.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, let me get that for you.
Thank you.
Huh? Oh, it's all right. I'm a doctor.
Oh.
I mean, don't worry. I am a doctor.
I don't care if you're the Pope. I don't like people staring at my legs.
Oh, sorry. I was just interested.
It looked like it.
Oh, it wasn't your legs I was staring at. It was your varicose veins. My interest was purely from a medical point of view.
Did you say that you were a doctor?
Yes.
What about my veins?
Well, speaking as a medical man, I was a little distressed to see a woman of your age and, of your age with such ugly...
Oh, are they as noticeable as all that?
Oh, no, only to a doctor.
Oh.
Is your own doctor treating you for it?
Oh, yes. Well, yes, in a way. He just tells me never stand when you can sit and to keep them raised slightly whenever possible.
Is that all?
Yes.
Didn't he tell you about the operation?
You mean having them taken out?
Yeah.
He said it was dangerous.
Did he really? It does sound an old twit. But hundreds of people have the operation every week. I mean, it might be dangerous if you were old, but a woman of... Well, how old are you?
38?
That's all. Well, I should have them out.
Oh, do you really think so?
Oh, certainly. Are they painful at all?
No.
Really? Oh, you don't mind my looking?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, they don't look too bad to me.
Oh, would you like to see them properly?
Eh?
I'll whip my tights off.
Oh, no.
Here in the door.
Oh,
Won't be a minute.
right.
Hey, Mike. You know, I just walked the whole length of the train that way. I've just discovered the bar's one compartment this way. Are you sure you don't want anything?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you. Be good.
Thanks, Paul.
There we are. That didn't take long, did it?
No.
Well, now.
Well, let's look then, shall we? Right,